What makes a man walk alone into a fire and come out with a legacy that still shapes the world? He wasn't born into greatness. He earned it through fire, through sacrifice, through faith that shook the heavens. Jews, Christians, Muslims all trace their roots to him, not for the kingdom he built, but for the obedience he showed. His story isn't ancient, it's eternal. This is not just the life of a prophet, this is a blueprint of faith. For you, for me, for all of mankind. Stay with me till the end, because the final moments may awaken a purpose inside you, one that's been sleeping too long. Long before he was called a prophet, long before angels visited him, he was just a boy born into a world drowning in falsehood. In the ancient city of Babylon, idols were everywhere, carved in wood, shaped in stone, worshipped in fear. His father, Azar, was a sculptor, a man who made the very idols people bowed before. But something in young Ibrahim's heart refused to bow. He watched the sun rise and set, the moon glow and disappear, the stars flicker and fade. And he asked the question that would change his life forever. How can something that disappears be my Lord? No scholar taught him, no crowd followed him, but his heart, pure, searching and sincere, knew the truth before his lips ever spoke it. I turn my face to the one who created the heavens and the earth, Hanifan Musliman, and I am not of those who associate others with him. That moment, a teenage boy in a world of idol worshippers chose monotheism, alone. Imagine that courage. When others feared society, he feared only his creator. When others obeyed blindly, he questioned with purpose. And when others built idols, he prepared to break them. This wasn't just rebellion, it was revelation in waiting. But faith, when pure, is never left untested. And soon, the boy would do something that would shake an empire. It was the annual festival. Everyone had left the city, off to celebrate, to dance, to worship false gods outside the town. But Ibrahim stayed behind, not to rest, but to rise. He walked into the grand temple, surrounded by towering idols, statues dressed in gold, eyes of stone staring blankly. In his hand, an axe. One by one, he smashed them, the false gods, reduced to rubble. But the largest idol he left untouched, and placed the axe gently on its shoulder. It wasn't mindless destruction. It was a message, a test of logic for a people lost in illusion. When the townspeople returned and saw the wreckage, they were furious. "Who did this to our gods?" they shouted. Someone said, "There's a young man who speaks against them. His name is Ibrahim." And when they brought him calm and unshaken, he said something that echoed through time. "Ask the big one. He has the axe. Maybe he can tell you." They paused. They looked at the idol, silent, powerless. Deep inside, they knew the truth. But arrogance is a veil over the heart. Instead of accepting his wisdom, they cried blasphemy. And the verdict was given. Burn him. Burn the boy who dared to defy our gods. But fire cannot touch a soul protected by heaven. What came next was a miracle that changed history. The decision was made. A fire would be lit. Not an ordinary fire, but the largest blaze ever seen by man. They gathered wood for days. The flames rose so high, even the birds in the sky couldn't fly over them. They tied young Ibrahim tightly. Not because he resisted, but because truth frightens tyrants more than violence ever will. The catapult was prepared. The people gathered. The fire roared. And as he was thrown into the inferno, he uttered words that will live forever. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for me, and he is the best disposer of affairs. In that moment, between the air and the fire, the angels rushed to help. Jibril a.s. descended and asked, "Do you need anything, O Ibrahim?" He replied, "From you? No. From Allah? Always." And then, the command came from the Lord of the worlds himself. "O fire, be cool and safe for Ibrahim." Surah Al-Anbiya 21:69. The flames turned to peace. The ropes burned away, but not a hair on his body was touched. He walked out, calm, unharmed, like a man stepping out of morning mist. The people stood frozen, Their gods had failed. Their fire had failed. But the truth stood tall, untouched by the world's worst punishment. That moment wasn't just a miracle. It was a declaration that when you walk with God, no fire can burn you. Ask yourself, are you willing to stand in the fire for truth? What are you afraid of? People's judgment or your own silence? The fire could not burn him, but the people's hearts were still cold. They had witnessed a miracle, yet chose to stay blind. And so Ibrahim, alayhi salam, made a choice that every seeker of truth must one day face. Leave behind comfort, leave behind home, leave behind the familiar for the sake of Allah. This was no ordinary migration. This was hijrah, a sacred journey from falsehood to freedom. He set off, step by step, leaving Babylon behind, heading into the unknown. With him, his wife Sarah and his nephew Lut, alayhi salam. Through barren deserts, foreign lands, silent nights, no caravan, no riches, just faith and purpose. He traveled through Egypt, through Syria, and Palestine. Wherever he went, he called people to one God. He wasn't building empires, he was building hearts. And yet, despite his mission, he remained a stranger in every land. Rejected by some, respected by a few, but always remembered by God. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, Ibrahim was a nation, ummah, devoutly obedient to Allah, and he was not of the polytheists." Surah An-Nahl, 16 verse 120. Imagine that one man called an entire ummah because his belief was so pure, his courage so unwavering, his sacrifice so complete. Both. Sometimes your journey will feel lonely, but if your purpose is pure, even your solitude becomes sacred. Ibrahim walked alone so we could walk free. In his quest for truth, Ibrahim alayhi did not blindly accept what his people followed. He observed the world, the sun, the moon, the stars, and asked questions no one dared to ask. One night he saw a brilliant star in the sky. It lit up the darkness with beauty and wonder, and he said, "This is my Lord." But when the star set, he said, "I do not love things that disappear." Surah Al-An'am 6, 76. Then he saw the moon, large, luminous, graceful. "This is my Lord." But when it vanished too, he said, "If my Lord does not guide me, I will surely be among the lost." And when he saw the sun, brighter, stronger, dominant, he thought, "This is greater. This must be my Lord." But as it too set, he declared, "O my people, I am free from what you associate with Allah. I turn my face to the one who created the heavens and the earth with pure faith, and I am not of the idolaters." Surah Al-An'am 679. This wasn't confusion. This was a journey of reflection, teaching us all, never follow blindly. Think, question, seek truth with your heart and your mind. Because a real Lord never disappears. The real Lord created the stars. He is not one of them. That was Ibrahim's awakening, not just personal, but universal. A declaration for all ages. The Creator is greater than all creation. In a world obsessed with signs, symbols, and celebrities, ask yourself, are you worshiping the light or the one who created it? After years of longing, praying, and waiting, Allah blessed Ibrahim alayhi salam with a son, a gentle, righteous boy, Ismail alayhi salam, the son born in the desert, the son of deep dua, the son of hope. Imagine the joy of a father who waited decades to hear the word Baba. But then came the dream. Night after night, the same vision, Ibrahim was sacrificing his son. And this wasn't just a dream, it was revelation, a test so immense it would shake the strongest of hearts. He went to his young son and said, "O my son, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. So tell me, what do you think?" Surah As-Safat 37:102. And the son, raised in faith and strength, replied, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, among the patient." No hesitation, no resistance, just surrender. Father and son walked together to the place of sacrifice. No crowd, no cries, just the silent desert witnessing the ultimate act of submission. Ibrahim laid his beloved son down, blindfolded, heart trembling, yet unwavering. And as the blade touched the neck, it did not cut. A divine voice called out, "O Ibrahim, you have fulfilled the vision. Indeed, this was a clear test, and we ransomed him with a great sacrifice." Surah As-Saffat 37, 104-107. A ram was sent from heaven, the boy was saved, and the legacy of Eid al-Adha was born. Not to glorify blood, but to honor obedience. Not to celebrate pain, but to enshrine faith over feeling. Ibrahim loved his son, but he most loved his Lord more. Today we fear letting go of habits, wealth, ego, distractions. He was willing to give up his child, and that is why Allah made him Khalilullah, the friend of God. Not all sacrifices are made with swords. Some are made in silence. Allah gave Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam another test, not through fire or knife, but through separation. He was commanded to take his wife Hajar and their infant son Ismail as-salam to a barren, lifeless valley. No trees, no water, no people, just endless desert and burning sun. He left them there, with nothing but a few dates and a water skin. As he walked away, Hajar called out, "Ibrahim, are you leaving us here, alone, in this desert?" No reply. "Did Allah command you to do this?" He turned back, eyes filled with tears, and nodded. She said, "Then he will not abandon us." Imagine that faith. A mother with a baby in her arms alone, believing not in what she sees, but in what she knows. Soon the water ran out. Baby Ismail cried in thirst. Hajar ran. From Mount Safa to Mount Marwa, 7 times. Desperate, determined, divine. She searched for help, for a miracle, for mercy. And then, at the feet of her son, the ground trembled and water burst forth from the earth. Zamzam, a spring that has flowed for over 4,000 years, from the tears of a mother, from the trust in her heart. Today, millions walk that path between Safa and Marwa during Hajj, retracing Hajar's footsteps, not as a formality, but as a tribute to courage, motherhood, and divine reliance. In a world that often overlooks women in faith, Allah preserved the legacy of a woman's sacrifice at the heart of Islam's holiest rituals. Years passed. The boy Ismail, alayhi salam, grew strong. The valley of Mecca, once empty, began to flourish. And then came the divine command, "Raise my house." Ibrahim alayhi salam was tasked with building a structure unlike any other. Not a palace, not a fortress, but a sanctuary, the Kaaba, a cube of simplicity, a house of worship that would outlast empires. Ibrahim and his son worked side by side, one placing the stones, the other lifting them. And with every brick they made a prayer that still echoes in every believer's heart. "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the all-hearing, the all-knowing." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:127. This wasn't just construction, it was dedication, submission, legacy. When the walls were raised, Ibrahim stood on a stone to complete the final touches. That stone, Maqam Ibrahim, still stands today outside the Kaaba. The Kaaba became the first house dedicated to the worship of one God, a symbol of unity for all of humanity. From every race, every land, every language, all turned to that one direction in prayer, because one man turned to one God in complete obedience. Prophet Ibrahim didn't leave behind a kingdom, an army, or a throne. He left behind something far greater, a direction to pray, a house to honor, a legacy of Tawheed, belief in the One. And today, over 1 billion people on earth face Mecca in prayer, all because of the hands, the heart, and the faith of one man and his son. He wasn't a king, he didn't lead armies, he didn't sit on a throne. But Allah gave him a title that no emperor ever received, Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. And through him came a nation. From Ismail Allahs, the Arabs, from Ishaq Allah Sam, the children of Israel. From his bloodline came prophets like Musa, Moses Allah Sam, Isa, Jesus Allah Sam, Muhammad Allah Aslam. 3 major world religions, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all trace their roots back to one man, one legacy. That's why the Quran doesn't call him just a prophet. It calls him Ummah, a nation in himself. Surah An-Nahl 16, verse 120. Ibrahim, Allah's Islam, taught the world what it means to stand for truth, obey without hesitation, sacrifice what you love, believe even when you're alone. Until this day, his story is not ancient history. His path is not outdated. His name is honored in every prayer. His family is blessed in every congregation. When Muslims say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahima, it's a reminder that the story never ends, because legacies like Ibrahim's don't fade, they echo. In a world craving direction, remember the one who built the Kaaba. In a time of fear, recall the one who walked into fire. In your moments of doubt, reflect on the man who laid his son down and still said yes to God. That is Ibrahim, the father of prophets, the friend of Allah, a guide for the seekers, a mirror for the faithful, a legend for all of time. If this story touched your heart, don't let it end here. Like this video to honor his legacy. Share it with someone seeking truth. Subscribe to Legend Legacy, where we revive the lives of the greatest humans to ever walk this earth. Let the world remember that one believer standing in truth can echo through generations. Peace be upon Ibrahim, who fulfilled every command. Quran 53:37.